Hey, so today I'm going to continue with trying to get the web UI for this thing working. I've not really looked into it at all, so I'm going to try and put all of the code that the .NET new command generated and put that all in the web API project that I've got, because I don't want to have to deal with cores or running two applications to try and get data. And then I'm going to try and get some data on screen. So we'll see how that goes. So I guess the first thing we should do is shut Spotify. And that's right. So we've got the basic solution. What I think I'm going to do is create a new branch, and then I can go back and forth from this as and when I mess it up, which I'm kind of likely to do. So git checkout branch, let's call this web UI, git add, and just commit everything, initial version. I wonder if that's got a git ignore for ignoring all of the 8 million npm packages, because I really don't want to commit those. No, it doesn't. But it's not committing them anyway. Oh, maybe my git ignore the root of the project has one. Yeah, so I'm ignoring node modules already. Well, that's good. Right, so git commit blank web UI project. So now let's try and combine everything into one. Now, some of these things I should just be able to lift straight across. I'm going to do it through Explorer rather than the command line, because I find it a little easier to actually view these things like this. But I'm still not going to use the mouse because I don't like the mouse. Right, so we've got this web UI project. Let's take the npm shrink wrap, package.json, tsconfig. I'm probably going to get rid of TypeScript, but yeah, it can stay for now. Webpack. And right, now let's grab the root views. Might as well take the node modules so I don't have to download them again. Controllers and client apps. Now, I don't think any of that will clash with the stuff that I've got in the REST project. No, it shouldn't do. Open in another program. Is it now? It's probably that. It is. Right. So that was the easy start. Now I'm going to want to try and work out what the difference is between everything that's in the startup and the program files for both of the projects. So in the web UI, there's too many active changes. Oh, lovely. Let's have a look at the programs. Yes, now I don't think there'll be any differences in this compared to the REST one. Okay, there's quite a lot of differences. But essentially this one's just the basic use the startup and build it. Okay, so we don't need the startup. Oh, sorry, the program. We probably want the startup from it though, or at least some of it. Let's go and have a look. Web UI startup. Would you go away? Right, adding MVC, that we can handle. It's got an injection of icon configuration. Which is apparently not used, apart from being exposed publicly. It's a bit weird, but okay. So we're going to ignore that. We've got some extra parts for here if it's in development. So let's take those. Let's open that like this, and then if we open our second startup to the right, how to do that in here? Oh, that does work. Okay. So here's development. Use development exception page, and we actually want just this Webpack middleware, which I guess is what is enabling hot reload. Yes, it is. The other downside, of course, to this is I haven't done any JavaScripting, well, client-side JavaScript in quite a while, so this is probably going to involve a fair amount of swearing when I actually get going. Tabs. Right. Okay, use an exception handler. Yeah, alright, we'll put that in for now. I don't specifically know what that does, but use exception handler home error. Yeah, not really sure on what that does, but I have. Right, and can I hide this thing? Yes, I can. Right, then we have use static files. Yeah, that makes sense, because all of our JavaScript is being compiled and then served statically. And then we have some roots. Now I'm using attribute routing somehow, I guess by magic. So hopefully just including that roots thing won't break that, but it might do. Let's do this in Rider actually, because then we'll get some IntelliType. And while it throws a fit about all the files I've just moved about, let's remove that project. Right. So I'll use MVC. Oops. At least I'm hoping I'm going to get IntelliType. Two processes running. What processes might those be? Indexes. Okay. Scanning every module. Node module. Yeah, good luck. I wonder if there's a way to tell it not to do that. And I suppose we've also got to copy across some dependencies. Yeah, because this project is much bigger than our other project. So let's see what this project file is doing. The code generator. Do I want a code generator? I don't know. I'm not publishing. I probably want this. After build, and if there isn't something in the distribution, do something with Webpack. I'm going to ignore that publishing for now. Right, so that's in place. Do I have any missing references? Netcore app 2, TypeScript compile blocked. I better put those in for now. I guess I don't really know what they do. Mentions TypeScript though, so ASP.NET Core. .all to, yep, the same version. And then we've got some CLI tool reference to code generation. I wonder if I want that. Oh well, I'm going to ignore it for now. Okay, so that's that. Now let's see what we get for roots. How do I tell it to do attribute routing? By default, I mean. I mean, I gather if you go to definition on this, that's what attribute is using attribute routing by default. So, root builder, MVC root handler, attribute routing. Create attribute mega root. That's interesting. No, it looks like it does both actually. So by default, we end up calling this version, which just maps the default controller root. So maybe I don't need to do anything, I guess. So let's go back to this startup. We have a single page application fallback route. Again, no real idea what these are, so I'm just going to copy and paste them in. If it works after this, I'll be amazed. But, right, what else do we need? Right, there's an app settings and an app settings development. What do we have in here? Some console logging. Yeah. And some more logging. So I can probably ignore those. Maybe. Right, let's build it, see what happens. What can possibly go wrong? Build times are so much faster now that I'm not doing the ops on this laptop. Let's run it. Right, when it started. Not entirely what I wanted to happen, but I have that. Hang on a minute. That's not one of mine. I wonder where that message came from. Ah, my root controller. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Let's comment out the root controller for now, because we've now replaced it, hopefully, with a nice shiny web UI. It's taking longer. That's a good sign, right? Oh, it worked. Hooray, that's cool. Let's see if this thing still works. It does. And we can still fetch data. Lovely. Great, that's definitely the first commit. Core hell. And I did see a git ignore file earlier, knocking about somewhere. There. It's got tons of stuff in it, but that's the line I care about. So, can I do this? Oh, I can. Good. And I'm just going to delete everything else because I've got a git ignore file at the root of my project, so I don't need everything in it, hopefully. Hopefully that'll do. That would indicate not. Right, let's see if there's something in here that makes obvious for stuff that you don't need to include. No, no, no. Ah, those two. We'll take those two. And then details and node modules. We'll take that line. And we'll delete everything else. Set head. Are those the source things? I guess they are. They look like actual components, so maybe that is right. Oh, let's delete the other folder as well. Source, Crispin, web UI. It thinks everything's new. Surely most of that should have been moves. I did commit the initial version, didn't I? Yeah. No, I didn't. Never committed it in the end. Oh well. So that means this lot should be committed, maybe. Yeah, git commit web UI. Move UI into REST project. Right, so that was the first stage. Now let's see if we can put some data on screen. We have this lovely home page. Let's replace that with something, I don't know, just lists all the toggles available. Should probably delete that root controller as well. I don't even know if I want the UI to sit directly on the root of this, or if I, oh no, I suppose it makes sense. I suppose then everything else should sit under a /API endpoint. Oh well, worry about that in a minute. Right, let's try and figure out where that code comes from. Home, that makes sense. Right, so we have a list of things which we don't want. TypeScript looks weird. How do we? Okay, fetch data. Using Redux. This is not how I like to lay out an application. This is all going to have to change. When I do a front-end application, I like to have a folder per functionality, like I've done with the layout of the REST API. So I have a toggles namespace. So in this case, I'd have a counter component which would have all of the stuff it required in a folder called counter. But yeah, clearly that's not how they want to do it. So their counter is here. My God, how do you make a counter that complicated? No, weather forecasts. From domain task. What the hell is that on its own? Is domain task a node package? Sounds like it might be. It is. Fetch was what we ended up calling it. Oh god. I'm sure JavaScript is needlessly complicated. Okay. So where does it call fetch? Fetch task equals hit that thing. Response JSON as a promise, as a weather forecast. It's weird. I love strong typing. I apparently don't like seeing it in JavaScript. Add task and then dispatch. First weather forecasts. Okay, so what is a weather forecast? We have an interface which has 3 bits of information. We have a state, which is whether it's loading, the start date, and the weather forecast itself. Where's dispatch defined? Oh, there it is. It's a thunk action. Okay. Do we use get state anywhere? I'm not sure this is nicer than just using ES 2015 or ES 6 or whatever it is, the current version by now. So I am tempted just to delete everything and start again. Where's the home page? Lovely. Views, perhaps? Home. Yeah, that sounds about right. Render in that. Seems a lot of effort to be using ASP.NET just to render a view that just includes this. I'm tempted just to get rid of it, but I don't quite know how it all hooks together. It's using Webpack, so I should be able to do things that I want, I think. These are serious. Action, request, receive. See, I mean, I understand the basic structure of this, but it just seems really too much. I'm quite tempted just to use jQuery just to do an AJAX request. That'll do. Let's do something different then. Right, where's the basic page? Boot client. Set roots, layout. Container fluid, that makes sense. This all screens Bootstrap, but I don't see Bootstrap anywhere. Unless it's in a different folder that I don't really know where I'm looking. Right, so let's replace our home component with something better. Now, I don't like the components folder, so I'm just going to create a new folder here, and it's going to be called dashboard, because that's what's going to be our basic view of things. And in dashboard, let's have a new file, and that's going to be called index.js. And now we'll get to see whether I can remember how to write JavaScript. Export default brackets. Let's just export from h1. Hello from better from dashboard. Does this not have autocomplete? Oh, rubbish. Right. That's an index that I recognize anyway. So let's add it to our new here. So import index and import dashboard from dashboard. And that should be it. What's your problem? But allow.js is not set. Is it not? Because I'm in a TypeScript file. I wonder how I switch that on then. I don't want to try and replace everything at once, I just want to replace bits at a time. I think in here, maybe. It's probably an argument to this. Allow, what was it after? Allow.js. Let's try running it. The aim is not to see an error, not to see my new version, because I haven't actually put it anywhere. Oh, no errors. So let's say that runs the dashboard instead. Now, can I just refresh this? Apparently not. I thought it had hot module reloading. See if there's any errors in the console. No? Okay, let's try restarting. I wonder if it's because that dist folder exists. And I meant to do something like, I don't know, delete it each time. That seems a bit over the top. There was something about removing a folder though. Pre-publish. I wonder if Rider actually executes these. Try from the command line. Crispin.Rest. Stop that. .net build. Did that do anything? I can't really tell. I suppose we can have a look in our dist folder. Not what that is. Not what we're after, clearly. Doesn't have the word dash in it, so that would indicate that it didn't do what I wanted. Oh, that's rubbish. Well, let's Google this error message then. TypeScript allow JS. Thanks for that. Where do I specify it? Let's go back and have a look through webpack. Type. Hang on a minute, there's a TS config. Right. That seems like a good place to put something. Maybe I can just specify it here. What's vendor.js? When is it on? No, that doesn't look useful. I have no idea what I'm doing. TypeScript specify. Stack Overflow. Well, good. So I have set it in the right place. Just got to figure out how to make it actually run the build then. Condition, configuration is debug, and dist doesn't exist. Well, let's remove that extra condition then. Now maybe it will run every time. Right, so I guess it doesn't understand that. Exited with error code 2. That's useful. I wonder what that means. Find out, copy the error message, Google that. Maybe it is because it exists, so let's just manually delete it. Could also, of course, be erroring because I've made a legitimate mistake because I have no idea what I'm actually doing. I think that's quite likely. Did I make any changes to that? No. I did that. You're still complaining. I have no idea how to make that stop complaining. Oh, there's a dist folder here as well. Let's delete that too. Yes, delete permanent. I don't have a recycle bin on this drive, so things that offer to send things to the recycle bin fail. Let's delete that as well. And let's try again. 17th time's a charm. Oh, I have no idea what's going on with that. Right, let's have a look about what I did. Where is it, Crispin? Oh yeah, I didn't commit it. Rubbish. So I can't see what the old version was. Oh well. See, this mentions that it's the first build that it's running. Now if I run it from the command line, it'll actually give me the error message. Oh yeah. And if you restore a project file in Rider, it puts a hidden character at the beginning of the file, which then stops anything else loading it, which is lovely. Okay. I wonder how I swap it to the development environment. I don't want to do that. Maybe I can handle it through this edit configurations. Environment variables. Yes. And is that what's running? Yeah. I think that's what's being run anyway. Because there is that. What do I want to set that to? Set it to the word development. I'll get that. Does it tell you anywhere that it's being entering in development mode? Hosting environment production. Well, clearly not. It's not running the default one, it's running that one. Because default is that. Okay. Let's do this, that in there. Don't care about that. That in there. Try again. There we are, development mode. Hopefully we'll get an error message this time. Unexpected token, you may need to import appropriate loader to handle this file type. Line 3, 16. Is that just repeatedly trying to run the same thing? Yes, it looks like it. Oh, well, let's let that spin around forever. Wow. That's lovely. Do you stop that? I wonder what the error is that it's even trying to display. Stop it. What is that trying to do? Webpack building repeatedly and failing. Just Google that. Because keeping up and remembering how Webpack works at any given time is impossible, because things change so much in JavaScript world. Good, glad he's having a problem as well. Right. Let's have a look at our Webpack config. That Webpack config? Probably. Right. I saw something with extensions. Resolve extensions. JS, JSX, TS, TSX. Okay. Loaders. Doesn't have any. But I did see something about ES. Oh, was that in the TS config? Okay, so let's try adding it to the Webpack configuration. Is it server-side or client-side rendering I'm doing? Oh, we're going to put it on here and then hopefully everything will just work magically. Let's take the loaders. We have a module section. Loaders. JS. Question mark. Either an X or not. Use Babel. Don't do node modules. ReactJS 2015. And I suspect I will need a package for that. Have a look at the packages config. Yeah, we don't have Babel. Right, well, that's easy enough to solve. npm install save dev Babel core Babel loader Babel preset 2015 Babel preset React. Yeah, that's probably that'll probably do. Now we just wait while half the internet downloads again. That was quick. ES 2015. I recommend using Babel preset env. No, I'm fine with doing this. That is downloading half the internet. Right. So now that lot's installed, and I have webpack config, which I've carefully copy and pasted because I don't understand it. Will it work? I'm betting no. It's annoying. Why can't you just indent it properly? Right. Build. See how badly this goes. It succeeded. Where has that page gone? Yeah. Oh, we're just going to loop around with the same error repeatedly again. I thought as much. Okay. What? I don't understand what half this is doing. Net standard. No. .NET new React allow JS. I wonder if there's a version that doesn't have JavaScript. It doesn't have TypeScript. No, no options for it. It would probably help if I had any idea what I'm doing, which I don't. So. Just click about randomly until something looks like it. Tree vendor output plugins. No. Probably not. I'm sure someone out there understands this lot and thinks that this is readable and perfectly logical. I mean, they're wrong, but they're entitled to think it. Match TypeScript and match JavaScript. Remove that and just say just JS files. I don't have any JSX files and I'm not going to have any. And either way, I'm going to have to stop in a minute because I need to go and get ready and leave. So. But hey, at least I'm not waiting around ages for builds this time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave it there for now. Oh well. I shall think of something else to try later, possibly actually read these stack traces. Not that they're actually giving any information, it's just telling me that it couldn't do it, and I know that it couldn't because it's broken, but I don't know why it's broken. Yeah, makes no sense to me. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching me swear about JavaScript without actually swearing, I don't think. We'll get back to it later, maybe later this evening, depends what time I get back. We'll see. Yeah, if not, probably see you tomorrow.